Hi guys, it's Carol from Cape Cod Cottage Garden, and I'm so excited because today I'm going to be setting up my grow room down at my Cape Cod house. I've had some life changes that are going to allow me to stay at the Cape for at least the next several months. So it's going to be so much easier than what I did last year. If you remember last year, I was growing all my seedlings at my condo off of Cape, and I was back and forth and made it very difficult to grow. And I always had to have someone watching my seedlings, maybe someone doing the watering for me. And I did lose some things. But this year I plan on growing a lot more than I did last year. So it's going to make it so much easier to have it all in one place and for me to be here every day to check on them. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be setting up the grow space in my basement. I have this room here to use. I bought some new supplies. I did buy an extra shelf, and I bought a table to use for sowing seeds, etc. For now, I'm going to go set up my shelving, and then we'll go from there, and I'll show you everything that I have purchased for this new grow room. So the first step is I'm going to set up all my items that are bulky, like my shelves and my tables, and I'm going to set it up and see how it works in the space. So let me get going with that. So guys, setting up these shelves by yourself can be a little tricky, but I found a kind of an easy way to do it. And I'm not going to show you every shelf, but I'll show you this one. This is the 3-foot wide shelf. This is the one I'm going to be using for storage. All my other shelves are 4 feet wide, and I did that intentionally, and I'll explain why later in the video. So the first thing you want to do is you want to set 2 of your legs the width of your shelf. And then what you're going to do is just slide in the shelf legs into the holes. Slide it down to where you want the shelf. And let me get a little bit closer up so you can see the next step a little clearer. So in order to keep the shelf in place to the level that you want it on your rack, they come with these little plastic clamps. Look very carefully, because if you can see, I don't know if you can see it here, but it says top and an arrow pointing up. You always want it facing up. So what I do is these have little scores in them. You can see the little lines. I count up approximately where I want my shelf to sit. In this case, I think I'm going to do like 8 inches up. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then in order to set these clamps in place, there's little grooves, and there's a groove on the inside. So what you do is you put your clamp on, make sure it's facing up the top, and slide it down till it, hear that click? I'll do it again. You probably can't hear it because I have a mic on, but it right there, it just clicked in. So you put one side in, make sure the other one is top side up, put the other side in, and clamp it together. You're going to do that on both sides. And then all you have to do is slide down your shelf over the black socket thing, and that holds it firmly in place. And then you just do the rest of your shelves like that. Then you turn it over and put the other legs in and do the same thing over again. Just thought I'd give you a quick tip on that of doing it by yourself. I'm back. I've already set up 2 of the shelves. I'm going to start working on the 3rd one now. But I just wanted to mention something about the shelves. Shop around. This shelf, this 5-tier, 48-inch wide shelf, I got at Target for $80. Now, it is a lot of money. It's quite an investment, but it is something that you're going to be using over and over again. I mean, you could use anything. If you were on a small scale, you could put it on a table, a folding table, whatever. But I'm growing a lot, so I had to purchase another shelf. But I saw this in several places. Some places it was $159, so just about double the price. So just do your homework and shop around and try to find the cheapest price on these, because they're all basically the same. So I'm going to get started on this one. Okay guys, I'm back. I got all my shelves set up. I have my 2 4-foot shelves set up here, and my 3-foot shelf is set over there. I also went out and bought a 6-foot folding table, which is right here on top. I just wanted to talk a little bit about lights while I'm setting up my room. When I first started growing, I thought I had to buy this elaborate grow light. I didn't know any better. So I went out and I bought this. It's a Spider Farmer light. I think it was $130 or something crazy like that. I mean, it's a great light, don't get me wrong, but you don't need it. Because all of last year I was growing on these lights, which are just shop lights, similar. Editing Carol here. I just wanted to pop in and just say something about my Spider Farmer light because it sounds like I'm really dissing it on this video, and that was not my intention. It is a great light. It's probably my favorite light I own, but for the purpose of this video, I wanted to show how you could do things on more of a budget. So you don't need it. It's amazing. It's 11,000 lumens, and it's a lot less. I paid 130 and it's on Amazon now for 100. So if that's something you're interested in doing, go for it. It's a fantastic light. I love it. But for the case of this video, I'm trying to do things on a budget, so that's why I said that. Back to the video. So I do have two different kinds here on the table because what I wanted to order was these ones. You can see they have like the little LED dots in them. I really should zoom in closer. And they're clear. These ones right here, you get 6 lights, and they were $67.99 on Amazon. When I bought them, that's what I thought I was buying, but I accidentally bought these ones, which is the ones I bought last time. They don't have the clear cover, and they look like, I wish I didn't hang them up so I could show you, but I don't want to take these out because I'm going to return them. These were less expensive, maybe in the $40 range. I'm trying to look it up. For some reason, my computer is glitching on me right now, so I'll write it at the bottom of the screen. But anyways, the point to all of this light discussion is that these ones are cheaper. They're like in the $40 range. These ones are in the close to $70 range. But these ones have 5,000 lumens, and these ones only have 2,500 lumens. So for your money, you get more lumens with this light, even though you pay a little more up front. So I want to return these ones and get another set of these. Enough said about the lights. So now when you get these shop lights, which you can use, they're just fine, you're going to have to find a way to mount them so you can either raise them up and down, because you know when you're growing plants, you want them pretty close to the lights. That's the difference with using shop lights and using something like this expensive Spider Farmer. You don't have to get this really close. So, and the other thing, this one light spreads out over this whole track, where these, I'd have to put probably 2 or 3 of them in a row to cover the 18-inch width of my racks. So I will show you a very simple way to set up your lights. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can have them on a little kind of pulley system to raise them up and down as your plants grow. Or some people just will put their plants on top of boxes or something and raise the actual plants up. I like the pulley system. That way I don't have a lot of junk hanging around trying to shove it underneath there to raise it up, and I can get it exactly the height I want without shoving books under there or boxes or whatever. So I have mine on like a little pulley system, which I'll show you. But for now, let me get set up so I can show you how I'm going to mount these so I can hang them on my racks. So I know you can't see me, but I have it directed to the table so I can show you exactly how you're going to mount the lights to these wood blocks to enable you to mount them to your shelving. So what you need is you need a couple of pieces of wood. I went to my lumberyard and asked for, I actually wanted 1x2s because they were a little thicker pine, but they didn't have it. So I just got this strapping, and they actually gave it to me free, and I had the guy cut it to about 17 or so inches because my shelves are 18 inches wide. So you're going to get your 2 pieces of wood. You need that. You have your 3 lights. So I'm going to put 3 lights for every shelf. The lights come with these little clamps like this to attach it to the wood. It also comes with the screws you need, little screws. And then I just went and bought some eye hooks like this. You're going to need 4 for each shelf. Okay? Also, and we'll get to that later, but to attach to hang the lights, you can get simply, let me show you what I have, what I did last year. You can simply go to any Home Depot and get this little chain. I think I got 10 inches of chain, something like this. And then you can just have these little hooks and hook them on to lower them up and down. But I found this a little tedious. They kept falling off every time I moved them. So I went ahead and I bought a different type of hanger. It's a little bit like a pulley system. I'll show you. They were a little more expensive than, of course, this. But if you just start, no, this does work. I just got aggravated with them falling off. So let me set that aside. If I set that aside, I mean toss it on the ground. So you want to set these out, just separate them like this. Set your lights. Move everything over. Set your lights on them so you kind of see where you want them. Just space them evenly. It's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I kind of set them like that, a little bit overhanging on each side. You probably can't see this end, but just kind of like that, just even. That looks pretty good. Just like equidistant apart. Take your time to get them even. Just eyeball it, you don't have to measure. So once you have it even like that, get a little pen or something and just mark a line on each side of the light like this. And the same thing on the other end, which you can't see me, but I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Just make sure it's not really cockeyed and crooked or whatever that way, because then they won't hang straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, once you mark where the lights are, you just take the lights off. Okay. And now you're going to put these little clampy things, look like that, on your board that way, facing this way. So these lights snap in. So let me see. My screws are just a little bit longer than my boards, so be careful. I usually use a thicker board, so I'm just going to put this board underneath so I don't screw into my brand new table. Basically, you're just going to put it in between the lines. Don't make fun of my skills here. I'm not a carpenter. Push and screw in. You could probably do this with just a screwdriver. I have a, oh shoot, hang on, I have the wrong type of drill bit. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. I have my drill bit. So take your bracket, put it between the lines that you made earlier. Get your screw ready. Don't make fun of my skills because I don't have them. Like I said, anyone can do this. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Kind of hold the bracket in place so, whoop, so it doesn't spin like that. Oops, I made it too tight. This drill is really sensitive, so hang on. Plus, I'm kind of doing it at a weird angle so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, that's one. Let's do one more with you, and then I'll do the rest off camera. Usually get better as I go along, but sometimes not. I never claim to be good at this stuff, but if I can do it, you guys can do it. There we go. That was better. Okay, so let me do the rest off camera so you're not bored. Basically, you just put 3 on this one and 3 on this one. Okay, so now I have both pieces with the 3 brackets each. Just make sure they're not really cockeyed or something, because then you won't be able to slide your light in easily. So once you do that, I think it's easier to put the eye hooks on now, just so you're not pressing into the light. You'll see what I mean. So I'm just going to flip them over and put the eye hooks in. I did drill 2 little pilot holes to make it easier for the eye hooks to go in. Just can put them in by hand. Let me just do that. Pretty easy, really. One there. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm doing everything at a weird angle, like stretching across the table so you guys can see. So I'm a little awkward. One there. And just 2 more. When you're drilling them in, especially if you're doing a pilot hole, just make sure you're not hitting the bracket on the back, obviously. I hope you guys try this. I really want to encourage everybody to grow their own food or flowers or whatever. It's really fun. I love it. As you can see, I'm pretty addicted to it now. I've pretty much doubled my growing space since last year. But it is like that. That is the warning. It is a little bit addictive. And the food is just so good. Trying to eat healthier. All right, there we go. All right. So once you get those on, they aren't going to sit flat anymore, so it's a little difficult. But now you just snap your lights in. So you take your light. This one is a little bit crooked. I don't make them so tight that I can't spin them a little. So take your light. In order to snap them in, these are kind of a little bit, these things on the side are a little bit flexible. And then the light itself has this little groove in it. You just kind of snap it in. It just snaps into that little holder. So sometimes you have to work it a little bit. So just like that. So do one end and then go down to the other end. And then if they're not exactly equal, you can kind of slide it. It's not a big deal. I'm running out of space here. I'm so glad I bought this table. And the other thing is I try to, have a multi-use for things to give me a good reason to buy something. So this is down in I'm actually in my laundry room right now too. This space does hold my washer and dryer. So when I'm not using this for planting and growing, I'm going to put a plastic tablecloth over it. I'm going to take it off and I'm going to use it to fold my laundry. So double use. There we go. So there's your light. So now I'll show you how I'm going to hang it on my shelf. Hang on. One more thing before I hang it up, because my space is really tight here. I have walls on either side. So I'm going to get my wiring done. So basically, let me show you. This is the one that plugs into the wall. Has a little switch on it. So you're going to plug that into one of the ends over here. I'm going to pick this end because it's closest to the plug. Just like that. And then in order to get electricity, these ones string together. So they're going to give you a little pot like this. And you're going to plug this one. So the power is coming through here. And you're going to plug this one into that one. So this one can get power. Just going to do that. So easy, really. Just a little confusing if you've never done it before. Then I have another one of these. I don't know why this one's so long. No idea. If anybody knows, put it in the comments. Let me put this one in here. So now there's power to this one, and then this cord is going to make power to the third one. Once you have that set, then you can hang it on your shelf. So let's do that next. So now I just have my light face down on the rack. And then if you want to just use these, you can just attach a little S-hook up on your thing, onto one of your racks, attach the S-hook here, and attach it to another S-hook here. My only problem is it constantly, every time I moved my racks, this thing was falling. So this does work, but it's a little bit annoying. So I went out and I found this little pulley system. I bought these on Amazon. I'll see if I can link them. They look like this, and they have this at the end. And it's like a wire. Spider Farm has a really nice one, but I couldn't find it. So in order to use this, this is like a little pulley system. You can press this button. I don't know if I can show it to you. You press this little thing right here, and then you can push this through like that to shorten it and to make it longer like that. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I don't know if you can see. Let's move you closer. Let me tip it down. I'm singing. Don't ask me why. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to take this little clamp. Has a little one of those on it. Onto my eye hook. Then I'm going to thread it up through my rack, which is really tall. I can barely reach. Oh, hang on. I'm short. There we go. And then down through. Just kind of wrap like that. And can you see what I'm doing? So then I'm just going to make this long. I'm going to actually, so now I'm just going to unclamp this so the end comes out. So the end is like this. I'm going to hook it through the other eye hook and back up through the pulley. Let me bring the pulley down, see? And then back up through the pulley. Hope this is making sense. Can you see what I'm doing? Put it back up to the pulley. So now you can use this pulley to raise your light up like that or lower it. So that's what I'm using. So let me put the other one in and then I'll show you my whole rack. Okay, so here is the final setup. I have my 6-foot table. Don't mind the mess, but over there I have all my shorter rack with all my supplies, which I haven't even put any of my pots yet because I have to sterilize them. So I have my Spider Farmer there. Then I have the 2 shelves of regular just shop lights. And then those are the 2,500 lumens. And those are my 2 shelves with the 5,000 lumens each. So I still have room for 1, 2, I guess 2 more. I can do 2 more shelves of lights, but that's what I'm going to do for now. And if you're all wondering why this side, the shelves are further apart than this side. It's because once you put these shelves together and your plants grow, if you have to move your racks to acquire the height that you need for your plants, it is a big pain in the neck. You have to take your whole shelving unit apart. That's what I did last year. So this year I did a little variety. Some of my shelves are close together and some of them are really far apart to allow for growth, because you can always raise and lower the lights, but you can only raise it so much. So if your plants get really tall like mine did last year, they're hitting the lights and that's not good. So now all I have to do is go clean my pots and get everything set up and stop planting. A couple of things I forgot to mention is obviously I'm going to attach a timer to these lights so they'll go on for the allotted time that I want, on and off. And the other thing is I'm going to clean up all the wires, tie them up with zip ties, make everything nice and tidy. I do have a fan that I'm going to attach to the racks to mimic nature in the wind outside. It just makes the stems sturdier because they have to hold up against the wind, so it's less of a shock when they go outside. So I'm really happy I took the time to do a step-by-step guide to how to set up a grow room for a beginner. Because when I did this on my own, I couldn't find anything step by step. I struggled just making the shelves the first time. I literally was ripping my hair out. I couldn't figure it out. Never mind trying to figure out how to mount my lights. So I hope that you find this type of beginner video very helpful. And if you do, I'd love it if you would like and subscribe. And I look forward to sharing more content with you. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye, guys.